Hello there, and a very warm welcome back to yet another video of me, the talking head, talking in a very dimly lit room about my very dimly lit thoughts on the movies I watched in 2025. Let's dive right in. So, more A-ranked films coming at you. So, I watched so many films last year, didn't I? Goodness gracious me. Right. Okay, so in this first bracket, we have Denis Villeneuve, another filmmaker that I've come to appreciate. Is like, he's just might be my favourite because the cinematography he gets into, the way he just presents his film, it's like moving art. Um, it's just making me think of one of the films I want to talk about, and in a future video. But we're gonna stick on track with this. So we got Blade Runner 2049. So I did a Blade Runner rewatch, not rewatch, first time watch, Blade Runner 1 and Blade Runner 2049. And Blade Runner 2049, visually, absolutely stunning film. I've given it an A+. This was the 2017 movie. We've got Ryan Gosling in there again. He keeps showing up in the films I'm watching. I seem to develop a fondness for him. I'll be honest, I don't remember too much about the plot, but I remember just looking at the film going, I just want to look at these. I want these like as paintings on my wall. I want to just stare at this film forever. Yeah, it gave me that kind of feeling because it was just so stunningly beautiful. I don't know if I ended up getting a 4K Blu-ray for it. I must check my collection. I don't think I did, but I feel like hopefully this would lend itself well to like 4K Blu-ray. But yeah, big thumbs up for Blade Runner 2049. Big thumbs up also for another. We're staying in the Denis Villeneuve catalogue. We've got Dune Part 1. I'm going to call it Dune Part 1 A+. I'm giving Dune Part 1. Timothée Chalamet. I mean, I'll be honest, when I went into this film, right, I went in looking at the cast here. I was like, Timothée Chalamet, oh, he's the Wonka guy. Rebecca Ferguson, oh, she's the lady from the Mission Impossible films, but she's really good. We got Oscar Isaac, oh, he was that Star Warsy dude, and he also did Moon Knight. And then we got Josh Brolin in here, he's Thanos, right? He's Thanos. And then going down the cast, I just was going through, like, I've got Dave Bautista, who's Guardians of the Galaxy. Zendaya, she's MJ from, you know, I always saw the actors in here as like what they were doing elsewhere. But by the end of this film, I was starting to really appreciate the fact that, oh my goodness, this film is really, it's really managed to draw me in by the end. You know, I must admit, first half of the film, on the first watch here, I was struggling a bit with that kind of association of them as actors in other roles. But by the end of this film, I was like, okay, I think I can see what we're trying to do here with this film and where it's trying to go. Which then got me straight into part 2, and then straight out the gate in part 2. I was like, oh wow, I really like this. But that's for another video. Part 1, big thumbs up. I strongly recommend Dune franchise if you're looking for a space opera film. You know, to be clear, I've only ever really come to love Star Wars as a space opera franchise, but Dune now it's right up there. I've only seen the 2 films. I haven't seen any of the other content to do with it, but I can see myself really coming to love Dune over the years, in the same way I sort of do with Star Wars, potentially. So let's see where all that goes. But yeah, big thumbs up for both these films. I give the win to Blade Runner 2049 just probably because of the cinematography. I mean, the cinematography in both is stunning, but there's something also about the setting in Blade Runner 2049 that I think I tend to gravitate a little bit more towards that kind of industrial sci-fi in like cities in the future. So that's something that probably just pulls me over the line with that. But big thumbs up for both of these films. What else have we got in this bracket? So we've got So I've got three films coming up here, which I'm calling The End as We Know It. Three very dark, like you talk about the end of the world, the end of life as we know it. These three films, you can't go much further than this. Children of Men, 2006, the Clive Owen film with Julianne Moore. You had Michael Caine in there. The plot for this is basically it's wonderfully shot in England, and it's a dystopian action thriller film where basically, what if we couldn't have babies anymore, and literally biologically there were just no babies. Boom, end. And literally we're in real time watching our species die out. Like, how terrifying would that be? So yeah, if you want to see a film around that kind of theme, this is a really, really poignant film set in 2027, which is coming up. Turns out, 2006 film set in 2027. So yeah, maybe save this one for next year, and then you can maybe it'll land a little bit more differently. But yeah, Children of Men gets a thumbs up. I'm giving that an A. Could probably re-examine that up to an A plus because it was a very, 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 very good film. Sunshine 2007, Danny Boyle again, back on the scene, back in my movies with Cillian Murphy again, also back. Turns out I really enjoy Cillian Murphy. Chris Evans is in here as well. Who else we got in there? Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, this was there's something about a plot line that says the sun's going to go out and you need to go on a one-way trip into space to try and reignite the sun. Doesn't matter who's directing it, I'm basically there. But the fact it's Danny Boyle and it's Cillian Murphy, and this was written by Alex Garland as well, who did Ex Machina and 28 Days Later. Like, this film, it gets a little bit oddly sci-fi at the end. I appreciate that, but the core plot of going to the sun to try to literally just reignite it to save everyone on Earth, like, that is just chef's kiss. Particularly the way that Danny Boyle and Alex Garland handled it in here. So yeah, it's a film that I can already feel like I'm looking forward to rewatching again one day. But yeah, it's very dark, end of life as we know it, kind of theme to that as well. And another one following that trend, Mr. Will Smith starring in I Am Legend, post-apocalyptic action horror. So I watched I Am Legend again last year, and it held up as far as I'm concerned. And I'd completely forgotten as well, it features Shrek. I won't spoil further how, for anyone maybe is going to watch it and wants to see what's going on with Shrek in that film. Shrek is canon in I Am Legend. That's very, very cool. So big thumbs up for me for I Am Legend. There's something about that post-apocalyptic kind of last man in the city, and there's a virus, and there's essentially like zombies. And it lands again further in New York City. I think since I last watched this film, I've been to New York City 3 times in my life. So basically anything New York City now lands so much harder for me, just because I've been there and I can recognise certain parts of it, and it kind of puts me back there. So super, super cool film that I think it holds up. Yeah, I've given this bracket to Sunshine. I give it an A+. I gave I Am Legend an A+ as well. But Sunshine, I think, just for that beam me into the sun to try and reignite it concept, yeah, really strikes a chord with me. And then the final 2 films in this bracket, in this video, we've got I've got 2 Star Wars films. So I think I wanted to have the synergy between the Dune film featuring in here and 2 Star Wars films, because they're both kind of space opera. So I've got Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith, which in my estimation I rate higher than Attack of the Clones. So I was a prequel boy growing up, grew up with, I don't know which film exactly I watched first. I had some on DVD. I'm sure I saw Revenge of the Sith in the cinema. But I think for me, Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith are just elevated by Duel of the Fates and the battle of the heroes on Mustafar. I think they're just above Attack of the Clones, purely for those fight choreographies alone. And yeah, that's like, as a boy, if you can be 12 years old at the time you watch these films for the first time, you know, anywhere between the age of like 10 to 12, like, it's going to capture your imagination, because I just think it's just wonderfully choreographed, you know, for all of the concerns we might have around the script and the dialogue and the plot. Like, when those lightsabers come on and John Williams' theme's playing, there's no other feeling like it. Like, there's no other, like, the coolness factor is off the charts. The it's just, you can't help but smile or just go, oh my god, you know, what am I seeing? Look at these, arguably the coolest weapon ever designed, with different colours, you know, different stakes. Yeah, I'll always be, I think I'll always be a Star Wars fan. I'll always be a lightsaber fan. I'll always be a Jedi fan, and I'll always be a fan of Phantom and Revenge of the Sith. And maybe as time passes, I'll appreciate Attack of the Clones a bit more on rewatches. But yeah, I give them both an A. But I do accept that narratively, you know, they're probably not A-grade films, but purely on the music and the fight choreography alone, I can't rank them B. I can't rank them B in the same way I feel like Attack of the Clones is just a grade below. Yeah, so I just wanted to get those in there, and it's interesting seeing the Star Wars approach to space opera and Dune's approach to space opera. I certainly, if you're only into one and haven't checked out the other, I certainly encourage that, just to get, you know, another flavour of another space opera. But yeah, long live Star Wars. I'm glad the films exist. So maybe this year I will get around to checking out some of the other Star Wars content that I've been meaning to check out. Haven't checked out Andor yet, so I hope to get to that. So let's see if I get to that this year. But yeah, with that being said, that basically wraps up this video. All in the A tier. I give the nod. Oh yeah, in the face-off, I give the nod to Revenge of the Sith. I think the stakes of that battle on Mustafar, you know, Obi-Wan versus Anakin, man, the weight of that battle. Oh, you know, that whole build-up. Obi-Wan desperate to keep him from falling to the dark side, and then he's gone. Yeah, and even like the opening sequence in Revenge of the Sith, like, the film opens really strong, like that sequence in space. Really cool fight with, you get General Grievous out of it with his flipping forearms and all these lightsabers going all over the place. Like, I think Revenge of the Sith offers a lot when you look at certain aspects of it in isolation. So, and of course you get Ewan McGregor. I mean, Ewan McGregor's just brilliant in everything that he does. So, and shout out to Hayden Christensen as well, because I think he got the short stick in terms of having some dodgy script to read. So anyway, that's me for this video. I had fun thinking about these films, and yeah, I wanted to offer some hope. I think I've sandwiched, we've got Blade Runner and Dune at the start there, we got the absolutely desolate, hopeless middle, and then we've got a bit of hope at the end with Star Wars. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I hope to catch you in the next one.